Hello, my name is Elijah Ramos, and today I will be going over math for 5th and 6th grades, ages 10 through 12. For 5th grade, I will be going over adding fractions, and for 6th grade, I will be going over factoring. Alright, so for today's lessons, we're going to be adding fractions with unlike denominators. Okay, so the first step you have to do when adding fractions with unlike denominators is make both denominators the same so you can add the fractions. So for the first example, we have 1/2 over 2/3. So we have to find one number that 2 and 3 can equal. So the easiest way to do it is you can go 2 times 3, and that'll give us the same because 3 times 2 and 2 times 3 each give you the same answer. So if we multiplied 1/2 times 3 and 2/3 by 2, it will give us 3 over 6 plus 4 over 6. And now all we have to do is add across. So 3 plus 4 gives us 7, and the denominators always stay the same, so we have 6. So our final answer would be 6. Or 7 over 6, I'm sorry. Alright, for the next one, we have 8 over 12 plus 8 over 11. So again, we don't have the same denominator, so we have to make the denominators the same. So we're going to multiply 8 over 12 by 11, and we're going to multiply 8 over 11 by 12. So the new fractions we get in this problem are going to be 88 over 121. Oh, I'm sorry, 88 over 132. 132 plus 96 over 132. All right. And now we just add across since the denominators are the same. So we do 88 plus 96. And that gives us 184 over 132. And since they're both even numbers, they can be reduced. So if we divided them both by 2, we would have, if we divided both of these by 2, it would give us 92 over 66. And since they're still both even, we can reduce them again. So I'm going to bring this down here, right there, put an arrow, and we'll divide them again by 2. Since they're both even, divide by 2. So 92 divided by 2 will give us 46 over 66 divided by 2 will give us 33. And that will be our final answer. For the next one, we have 2 over 7 plus 6 over 10. So we have to find two numbers that will make the denominators, one number that will make the denominators the same. So again, we'll just multiply 7 times 10. So we multiply this by 10 and this by 7. 2 times 10 is 20. 7 times 10 is 70, plus 7 times 6 is 42. and 7 times 10 is 70. So we just add across now since the denominators are the same. So 42 plus 20 will give us 62 over 70. And since they are both even, we can divide them by 2. Divide by 2, and we will get 70 divided by 2 will give us 35. And 62 divided by 2 will give us 31. And that would be our final answer, 31 over 35. Here, let me box the answers in just so you can see them. Alright, for the next one, for number 4, we have 1 over 6 plus 6 over 11. So we're going to multiply the denominators by the same numbers, by each number, right? The opposite one. So 1 over 6 will multiply by 11, and 6 over 11 will multiply by 6, which will give us 11 times 1 is 11. Mark that right there. And 6 times 11 is 66. Plus 6 times 6 gives us 36. And 6 times 11 gives us 66. And now we just add across. So 36 plus 11 gives us 47. And we just bring the denominator over, which is 66. And that would be our final answer, because we cannot reduce it anymore. Okay. For number 5, we have 5 over 9 plus 1 over 2. Now this one, we don't have to, we multiply them by each other, so by the denominators of each other. So we multiply this one by 2 and this one by 9. And so it'll give us 5 times 2 is 10 over 18 plus 9 over 18. And now we just add them together. 10 plus 9 is 19 over 18. Final answer, since we cannot be reduced anymore. Alright, and for the last one that I will be going over, we have 9 over 10 plus 2 over, 9 over 12, plus 2 over 12. And since the denominators are the same, we can just add them across. So 9 plus 2 is 11, and denominators stay the same, so 12, and that would be our final answer, 11 over 12. Okay, now I encourage you to work on the last 8 by yourselves. I will be providing the answer key at the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Welcome back. Today we're going to be going over greatest common factors. Okay, to find the greatest common factor, we want to write down all the multiples of the number. Okay, so for example, the first one, we have 15 and 5. So let's take the smaller number, for example, 5. Since 5 is a prime number, the only multiples that you can multiply to get 5 are 1 and 5. So our greatest common factor is either going to be 1 or 5. More likely 5, since it's higher than 1. So now we have to find our factors for 15. 1, 3, 5, and 15. Because these are all the numbers that you can multiply to get 15. 15 times 1 and 3 times 5. So we find the two numbers, the biggest numbers, which are 5, as you can see there. So our greatest common factor for 15 and 5 would be 5. For the next one, we have two numbers which are not prime, which are 44 and 22. Okay, so first we can start off with 22 and find all the numbers that you can multiply to get 22. So first we have 1 and 22, 2, since it's an even number, and 11, 3, no, 4, no, 5, or 6, 7, 8, no. Okay, so those are the only numbers that we have, 1, 2, 11, and 22. So now for 44, we need to find all the factors, or all the numbers that can multiply to get you to 44. So we have 1 and 44. That's always the easiest because anything times 1 is itself. 2 and 22. 3 cannot be. 4, so we have 4 and 11. And that looks like all the numbers that can, all the factors of 44. So now we have to look for the highest number for each of these numbers, and the highest one it looks like is 22. So our final answer would be 22. For the next one, we have 20 and 35. So let's start with a smaller number and find all the factors for 20. 1, always start with 1 and 20. 2 and 10. 3 cannot go into 20. And 4 and 5. Those look like all the factors for 20. Now for 35, we have 1 and 35. 2 cannot go into 35, nor can 3 or 4, but 5 can. 5 can go into 35 7 times. And that looks like all the numbers that can go into 35. So now we need to find the highest common factor. And we have 1, but that might, and here we, that's not the highest. 5 is, because they can both be multiplied by 5 to get that number. So our greatest common factor would be 5. For the next one, we have 12 and 27. So let's start with our small number and find all the factors for 12. So let's start with 1 and 12. 2 and 6. And lastly, 3 and 4. And for 27, our first factor would be 1 and 27. 2 cannot be divided by 27. We can have 3 and 9. 4 will not work. 5 will not work. 6 either. 7 either. 8 will not work. And we have 9. So those look like all the factors for 27. Now we need to find the common factors and figure out which one is the greatest. So we have 1, and anything else, we have another one right here, 3. 3 and 3 are common, and that looks like the only one left. So 3 would be our greatest common factor for 12 and 27. For number 5, we have 12 and 44, and we already know all the factors for 12 since it's right here laid out for us. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And since we know our factors for 44 also, because they're also in number 2 right here, we know all our factors for 44, which are 1, 2, 4, 11, 22, and 44. So now all we need to do is find our greatest common factor. So we need to look at all our factors first. We have 1, 2, and 4. So looks like 4 will be our greatest common factor since it's the highest number that both of these numbers can multiply by. So 4 will be our final answer for the greatest common factor of 12 and 44. And for my last example, we have 7 and 35. So since 7 is a prime number, the only numbers that can multiply to get to 7 are 1 and 7. And 35 is familiar because we have done 35 right here in number 3. So we know all the factors for 35 are 1, 5, and 7. Now we need to look at all our common factors. We have 1 and 7. So since 7 is bigger than 1, 7 will be our greatest common factor and the answer to number 6. Now I encourage you to work on the last 10 by yourself. The answers will be provided at the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Bye. Thank you for watching this video once again, and don't forget to like and share this video with your family and friends, and to comment down below on what you'd like me to cover in future videos. And remember to wash your hands, stay inside, and if at all possible, if you have to go out, keep a distance of 6 feet away from others. Thank you guys. See you later.